Okay, here's the thing. 2xKO, fun game, love it, looks great, but the roster, it's giving me meh. And don't get me wrong, I like these characters. Shout out to my boy Braum and his giant door, but let's be real. This roster is like a dessert station with only vanilla ice cream, a single topping, and you're left wondering, where's the flavor?
Alright, let's see what this is about. Where the fuck is everyone?
Let's take stock. We've got Jinx, she's a quirky human. Yasuo, edgy human. Alawi, buff human. Darius, scary human. Braum, cuddly human. Ekko, timey-wimey human. And Ahri. Okay, she's technically not human, she's a Vastaya, but really when it comes to Vastaya, Ahri's one of the more human-looking ones. She's really just a human with fox ears and a tail, and I get that does it for some people.
It's called furry.
But compare that to Nico, Rakan, Xayah, Wukong. Rengar would honestly be awesome in 2xKO. But imagine this, what if 2xKO embraced Runeterra's rich lore and actually gave us champions that aren't just humanoid? Give us Aatrox the Darken from an Epoch era, or the trees Ivern or Maokai. Give us the demon of fear itself, Fiddlesticks. One thing that I always think about is Kindred. We know 2xKO is a 2v2 fighter, but what if when you select Kindred, they fill both team slots? So if you select this one character, they count as two. And their main powers, they have really good switches, so you are constantly swapping between the lamb and the wolf. That sounds awesome to me. And why no Yordle? I remember them saying something about height, but you could give us Kled and just keep him on his mount Scarl. Anyways, the game doesn't need to be to scale. If you put Galio in League of Legends to scale, he would cover half the map. 2xKO could just scale up Yordles a bit and scale down characters like Galio so their hitboxes work. Honestly, I have a feeling like the next characters are going to be Katarina, Garen, Vi, Jace, Victor, Viego, Draven, which I really hope I'm wrong, but the trend does look like basic cast first, and I get that these are the popular characters. But Runeterra has a rich lore full of different races, and I want to see that shown in 2xKO. Maybe even venture beyond the current cast of Runeterra champions. Give us the Cheerian from Arcane Scar. That's the bat-looking guy who's always running around with Ekko. That would be awesome, and continue to show off this race which has not been seen outside of Arcane and Legends of Runeterra. And look, while we're talking about things 2xKO could use, 2xKO needs PvE. I said it, hate me for it, I don't care. I'll tell you right now, if PvE didn't matter, Mortal Kombat would have stopped with the story modes a long time ago. I'll give you an example of how it could work, and maybe that will sell you on the idea. Let's focus on Yasuo and Ahri since we know they're already in the game. Remember in Rune King, well, you might not if you never played it, but we see them on a boat heading from Ionia to Bilgewater at the very beginning. What if 2xKO gave us the prequel to that journey? A full-fledged story mode that dives deep into their characters, ties into Riot's wider universe, and fleshes out the world of Runeterra. The story would begin with a short scene of Yasuo's youth. His mother, a widow, raised him alongside his older half-brother Yone, who was everything Yasuo was not. Respectful, cautious, conscientious. Despite their differences, Yasuo and Yone were inseparable. When Yone began his apprenticeship at the village's renowned sword school, a young Yasuo followed, waiting outside in monsoon rain until the teachers relented and opened the gates. Here you can battle a few of the other students, training 1v1 style. This is where you can learn the mechanics of Yasuo, how he works as a champion. Eventually, catching the attention of Elder Suma, the master of the legendary wind technique, Yasuo's raw talent earned him an apprenticeship, but his impulsive nature clashed with Suma's teaching. Here you can be training under Elder Suma, learning more difficult techniques with Yasuo the champion. Then eventually, war comes to Ionia. Many of the warriors went off to fight, but Yasuo was ordered to protect the elders.
Your place is here, with Elder Suma.
He trained me for this. I can help end this war.
Your duty is to this school, to your master, to Ionia.
Then I should be out there protecting her. I won't fail you, Yone.
It seems I have already failed you.
Finally, one rain-slick night, the drums of a Noxian march could be heard in the next valley over. Yasuo abandoned his post, foolishly believing he could turn the tide, but he found no battle, only a raw grave for hundreds of Noxian and Ionian corpses. On returning, he finds the elders dead, and himself accused as Elder Suma was killed by a wind technique. And in a desperate bid to clear his name, Yasuo fought his way free, becoming a fugitive. This can be a 1v5 or something crazy type scenario where you fight your way free from the sword school. His path led him to a fateful encounter with Yone, who tracked him down, bound by honor.
You swore to protect him!
You swore to protect Ionia. Look around you, brother. Your honor stains the ground.
Better than living without it. I'm sorry, brother. I will not fail you again.
I am no murderer.
Then why are you running?
In their duel, Yasuo's wind magic overpowered Yone's swordsmanship, and Yasuo struck down his brother. I would want to actually play this fight in 2xKO. Yasuo then wanders Ionia, lost and consumed by regret. He returned to his village and learned that Elder Suma's death had been an accident caused by Riven. Yet Yasuo still couldn't absolve himself for abandoning his master, nor could he forgive himself for Yone's death. Yasuo eventually journeyed to the Spirit Blossom Festival in Wahle, though he held little hope that its healing rituals would ease his heart. It was there he encountered a demonic creature that sought to devour him, an Azakane that fed on his pain and regret.
And sometimes they find us.
Show yourself.
I'm not here for you.
Killing me does nothing, Hunter. If he lives, I will return. Suma's great pupil. What a disappointment. And your honor broken.
Better than living without it.
Yone. I'm done running.
This is where you could have your first two-team fight with you and the masked intruder against the demonic creature, fully expecting his brother to take vengeance. Yasuo was surprised when Yone let him go with little more than a bitter blessing. With nothing left for him in the First Lands, Yasuo has embarked on a new adventure. Though he knows not where it will lead, his sense of guilt, the only thing weighing down the free wind. We can then see Yasuo and Ahri meet. We can see what leads to this scene in Ionia, with Ahri and Yasuo fighting a demon in the Ruined King intro cinematic. The story mode ends with Yasuo and Ahri on a ship to Bilgewater, and those who want to continue their story can do so in the Ruined King. And that is the kind of PvE story mode I hope to see out of 2xKO. I'm not talking like hours and hours of single story mode all the way across Runeterra, but short character stories that flesh out things we've never seen in game. A mode where you can learn the story, lore, and mechanics of that specific character. You can play on some increased difficulties for skins or other rewards for that character. That sounds awesome to me. But hey, while we're speaking of things that could improve 2xKO, you know what else could use an upgrade? Your sleep. The Manta Sleep team was kind enough to send me a pro mask, and honestly, this is not a normal sleep mask. It's a pretty significant upgrade, and the 100% blackout was cool. My wife has a sleep mask, and we compared putting this on versus the traditional one, and I never realized how much light gets through a traditional sleep mask. But maybe you don't even want it for sleep. Maybe you just have a noisy office and want to meditate for a bit. I would recommend the sound mask for that, so you can listen to some calming meditation music. And it's not all sleep masks over here. There's the neck heating pad, the Arctic bed sheets, a travel pillow, the white noise machine. Anything that you can think of that has to do with sleep, Manta Sleep has you covered. Right now you can use code Entgrove for 10% off, relevant links in the description below, and thank you Manta Sleep for sponsoring this video. Now there are a few more characters I want to cover who I think would be amazing in 2xKO, and then I'll explain to you why I don't think they will make it in. You'll understand after. Alistar. Always a mighty warrior with a fearsome reputation, Alistar seeks revenge for the death of his clan at the hands of the Noxian Empire. Though he was enslaved and forced into the life of a gladiator, his unbreakable will was what kept him from truly becoming a beast. Now free of the chains of his former masters, he fights in the name of the downtrodden and the disadvantaged. His rage is much a weapon as his horns, hooves, and fists. That would be an awesome story mode with you fighting in the arenas and further fleshing out the history of Minotaur and Runeterra. But seriously, Alistar's been in the game since its inception and deserves some love. And a fighting game like 2xKO would be perfect for him. Bard. This walking pile of junk is one of the most unique and interesting characters in Runeterra, in my opinion. A traveler from beyond the stars, Bard is an agent of serendipity who strives to maintain the harmony between creation and the cold indifference of what lies beyond it. Many Runeterrans sing songs that ponder his extraordinary nature, yet they all agree that the cosmic vagabond is drawn to artifacts of great magical power. Surrounded by a jubilant core of helpful meeps, it is impossible to mistake his actions as malevolent, as Bard always serves the greater good in his own odd way. Here's the thing with Alistar and Bard, they don't really have a 2v2 partner. Look at the current cast, Ekko and Jinx, they really go together if you watched Arcane. Alawi and Braum, if you ever played Rune King, you know that combination works.
In Buru culture, we respect those who take what they want. Strength is a tool that allows us to live in the moment.
And I suppose we are having a moment now?
Yes. One we could have below deck.
Yes. Braum would love to continue discussing the Buru religion. But with the sea, the ship's rolling deck, Braum is afraid to take his eyes off the horizon.
Yasuo and Ahri. The lore and Rune King both pair these two. Darius. You could add Draven, Katarina, both would work with him. So it seems like the team working on 2xKO looks for 2v2 champions that can match. I already said Kindred can take up both slots, that would be pretty awesome and work well in 2xKO. For the trees, put Ivern and Maokai together, both have an affinity for nature and would make a very cool 2v2 team. As for Fiddlesticks, you can pair him with pretty much any demon, add Nocturne, Evelyn, or Tahm Kench. Wow, actually Tahm Kench would be pretty awesome, just slapping his tongue around and even keep his acquired taste passive, where the more he hits you in 2xKO it builds up. Devour can work on projectiles so he can swallow Jinx's Chomper for example and spit it back out at her if timed correctly, or even Braum's Poro. Devouring your teammate can be a switch where he is in for a little bit and then spits the teammate back out. He can devour an enemy once he has enough stacks of acquired taste, and it can be like a throw. But talking about how characters could work isn't really the focus of this video. My main point in all of this is that the 2xKO roster, while all great characters, is kinda boring. I want to see some of the wide breadth of races in Runeterra come through in 2xKO, and I do want like a Mortal Kombat story mode or some small campaign with lore, which can both teach you the characters while giving you a lore story. Basically 2xKO, we need some spice. More monsters, more creatures, less humans. I want it to really feel like the world of Runeterra. Drop a comment with your dream champ for 2xKO, obviously not Teemo. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like this video if you liked it. If you really want to go above and beyond, sharing the video really does go a long way. And thank you so much to those who joined the channel, it really means a lot to me. Thanks for stopping by the Grove, and I will see you in the next one.